My name is Bill Foley. I'm a first-year teacher at Brame Middle School in Alexandria, Louisiana, which is part of the Refuge Parish School District. I currently teach 7th grade math. I am most passionate about helping build confidence in my students' ability to do math. Many of my students have come to me thinking that they're not good at math, they can't do math. And a lot of them came to me just defeated. So it's important to me to try to help them have those little victories so that they'll build that self-confidence and try even harder. The second passion is creating and maintaining that safe environment where my students feel okay to make mistakes. Nobody's going to ridicule them. The students that you're going to see in the video are from a WIN RTI class that I just started teaching in January. During the winter break, our admin team reshuffled all of our WIN students, and I was asked to lead an enrichment class. This class is a mixture of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders based on their reading and math test scores. I developed the lesson plan using a Department of Energy curriculum, or STEM curriculum, based on nuclear power. To this video, the students have had about 2 hours of class time with me. And that's because we only get about 30 minutes a day because this is our homeroom period with announcements and everything else. And then 2 days a week, they have to do their mathematics and ELA curricula. And then, of course, we've been out for a couple of ice days. The lesson objectives, which span numerous days, are for my students to understand the principles of how you use nuclear power to generate electricity, and they need to be able to identify the major components and the functions of those components. The students are on day 2 of model building, and you'll see me in the video. I walk from table to table with those table-to-table interactions, asking the students to explain their models, explain the functions of their components, and just try to help them fully develop that understanding of how a nuclear reactor plant produces electricity. You will also see me pull a couple students out for some one-on-one. It's a little bit more hands-on instruction where the first student's asked to basically put a puzzle together to show me the system diagram for how a nuclear reactor produces energy, and then the second student is using a true-false questionnaire to show me her understanding of the lesson. So what do we have so far? Yep, smoke from the cake. So you're gonna have water going to and from your lake when you're done. And where are you putting the reactor plant and the steam boiler? So that's the primary, that's the steam generator. Okay. Okay, yeah. And if you look, you can make them separate. But if you look on the models, both the pressurized side and the secondary are both inside there. Okay, and then there's a hole for your cap. Alright, now make the progress. So what do we have? Okay, so what's the net case? And do not fall. We have a half right. So, right? You don't want that reactor fission material to get outside of that container, right? So your primary loop and your secondary loop, your steam generator, are both going to be in that container. Okay? I'll be back. You guys are doing good. Oh, yeah. And then we'll continue working on it. That's going to contain your reactor fission. All right, Chloe, you are going to be the inaugural person to get quizzed. How are you this morning? Did you jigsaw puzzle? Okay. Focus, guys. Yep. You're going to struggle with where to put it. I'll show you in a second, because I have to look this up. Okay, so you're pretty close. Explain this to me. What is this? Okay, so that's the first loop. What is the thing with the control rod? Yep, so that has the nuclear fuel in it. Okay, so what do these control rods do? If I raise the control rod, what happens? You're close. Remember, the control rods are controlling the amount of fission. Okay, so if I pull up the control rod, that means more fission is going to happen. Okay, and so this is going to produce more hot water. Okay, so that's your primary. It's going into that. What is that? Okay, and what is that big part? Absolutely. Now, does the water from the primary loop ever combine with the secondary loop? No. Why? Yeah, because remember, primary loop is radioactive. Okay? I want the heat from the primary loop, right? But I don't want to put the radioactivity in the steam generator. Okay? Tell me how the rest of it works. Hot water, right? So why does it change to this? You're heating the water to produce. Absolutely. So now your steam's going up, right? And the steam needs to go through. There you go. So there's your turbine. And then when the turbine turns. Perfect. Now, so when the turbine turns, what does it produce? No, your steam is turning the turbine. Turbine turns the generator. Generator produces electricity. Okay. Yeah, just kind of out there. Now, where's your cooling tower? So what is this? Primary, secondary. So, does this pipe go through that cooling tower? Yes. Yeah, because this is where you are circulating cool water from the lake. Okay? So, you have to kind of just like that. Now, what is this? Yep, absolutely. And electricity powers this one. Now, walk me through it one more time. I want to do what with the steam? When it goes from steam, gas, back to liquid, what is that called? When you have a cold bottle condensation. So that's a condenser. You capture that steam, turn it back to water, so it goes back into your secondary loop. That third loop is your lake water, right? It's using the air from the cooling tower to pull it off before it goes back into the lake. Okay? So the purpose of that third loop is just to help the condenser. Right? Good job. Okay.
Your payment book, the second is going to be the turbine generator,
Okay.
and then the third is going to be the cable.
And what's going to go into your containment building? Close up number 2. That 15 on the left is the containment building. You need to get that looked up. Yeah. And what? Reactor what? Yeah. So that's in your containment building. The containment, because it's got that radioactive stuff in it, should have a lid. Okay? Because if there is an accident, you really want to have the lid on top. For your model, you can leave the lid off so we can look down and see what's inside. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, come on down. You're the next contestant on Let's Build a Reactor Plant. Right on. When you're done, let me know. I'll come back. We'll talk about it. All right. So start back at the top. So you guys go outside. How do these control rods work? They're on the bottom. And I have to get it. They're all right. This is the bottom. So speed it up. I'm going to raise those rods more the faster you try to do that, the more likely they are to this. So this is kind of thinking about force, right? What goes in? Well,
That was cool. How long?
so remember with on that, that'll give you a better feel, right? Actually, in part of eyes on me for a second. Let's close up for the day. So we're going to continue working on models tomorrow. I will continue quizzing some of you guys. Remember, the objective is you should be able to tell me the major components and their function. Right? You have to be able to explain the primary loop, the secondary loop, and the tertiary or third loop, and how that all reacts together. Okay? All of you have a blue area, which is signifying your water. I just want you to be able to tell me why is your reactor plant next to a lake. Okay? All right? And we'll pick this up tomorrow. So a little recap on the video, the lesson that I recorded. I think we're making good progress on achieving the lesson objectives. Just keep in mind, we still have a few more days for this lesson plan. But I'm impressed with their progress. Their knowledge level on something that is completely new to them, and their energy is surprising and refreshing. What I would do differently next time is, because I didn't know these students, their groups were assigned randomly. And I've discovered in the short period of time that I've got a few kids that have special needs. And as we continue our lesson plan, we have one more day of model building, and then the students will present their models and explain how a nuclear reactor plant works to produce electricity to a team of judges from the admin team. My students were also tasked with researching Admiral Rickover, who was the father of the nuclear navy, and were tasked with preparing a 3 to 5 minute presentation using any medium or method that they wanted. I wanted to do that to give them the maximum amount of creativity. And I fully expect that one of my art students is going to create a picture board with drawings that he did himself, so that he can use that to guide his discussion in his 3 to 5 minute presentation. And I'm looking forward to it. I love this. I love the challenge. I love the freedom to choose topics that fit within the guidelines provided by admin. While I've asked my students for input on what the next topic is, I haven't received anything from them. I've asked my science teachers, what do I need to work on with these students to prepare them for LEAP. But if left up to me, our next lesson plan will be based on the human body and something within that realm to use my experience as a nurse.